Hi there, Github here with a new video on Fishnet integration with other assets. In this video I will show you how to integrate Emerald AI 2024 and Easy Character Movement 2 with Fishnet. My code on GitHub shows you how to do this. However, consider it a proof of concept for now, since not all functions have been completely integrated yet. More will come in the future updates of the code. Okay, let's start showing what you need to do to integrate with Emerald AI. First, let's sort out the animations. Like all Fishnet-related integration, we want the server to determine what needs to be animated and when. So, when the server instantiates an object, it will animate it and sync it with the clients using a Fishnet Network animator. This is fairly straightforward, with a small catch you need to be aware of. In the initialization code, we need to add a reference to the network animator and store it in a property. You also see some additional code which allows me to reset the animator. This is purely for my convenience, since I swap character appearances which each come with their own animator. Okay. The network animator syncs the animation states with one notable exception. It does not sync triggers. That's why I added more code in the various Emerald animation class methods. Each call to a trigger must be duplicated to call the network animation trigger too. This will do the trick for all necessary animation syncing. In the combat script I made a few changes too. If you look closely at the Emerald AI documentation, you will see that it uses animation events. We want to make sure these events are only called on the server, so that's why I changed the code to escape the method if it's running on a client build. In the Emerald sound script, I integrate with my Fishnet sound bridge class. It first needs to initialize, and then each sound method needs to call the bridge instead of calling it locally, since that will do nothing on the server where the AI logic takes place for these NPCs. In this script I only created the integration for the play attack sound, which now uses the fish sound bridge. You will need to make similar changes to the other sound methods. As I said before, when I get there for my own game, I will update the code in GitHub. If you take a look at the Fishnet sound bridge, you will notice it uses RPCs initiated from the server to play sound on the clients. Here you can also interact with your audio middleware asset if you want to use that in your game. I'm using Master Audio 2024 for that. Okay, next up is Easy Character Movement 2. The integration is fairly simple, although I have to mention there is room for improvement. For example, I'm not using ECM's client-side prediction yet, so that needs to wait for a later video. But let's look at what I do have. There are two things you need to know. Use a script to enable ECM2 components on the authoritative client. I covered that in an earlier video. In the Fishnet Networking transform, set the component configuration to disabled and make sure that the rigid body is set to kinematic for all non-authoritative copies of the player character. This ensures that the Fishnet components steer these copies. If you don't do this, you will see some sliding behavior in the copies, since the rigid body of the copy is fighting the Fishnet transform data it receives. By the way, when I talk about copies, these are the copies of your character on another client. Okay, while the demo runs in the background, let me conclude this video. Please share a like if you find it useful. I will start work on an exciting new video on Mesh Terrain, version 2.0.
Voices gather round in towers that sway. Dragons roar, echoes through skies of gray. Mystic forces clash on a mountain high. Sparks of fire fly beneath a crimson sky. Castle shadows dance with the